What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Ring Snob, Mick Manhattan here. This is the 20-minute wrestling podcast reviews. So this is new. This is something I'm trying out, and this was actually all started thanks to Nick. He made a special request of me to watch an old video, wrestling video, and to review it. And I'm doing that, and I love the idea. I want to take more special requests and watch some older stuff. So if you guys have any of those, any requests you want to give me, let me know, and I will get on it. And I'm going to do more reviews like that. So I think right now I'm going to call this the Ring Snob reviews, and it's Rampage '92, the U.S. Rampage '92, because they did have a UK one that happened first, but this is the U.S. one. This was a U.S. tour. So, and now, for people who don't know, I'm sure a lot of wrestling fans do know, but for people who don't know, Coliseum Home Videos did the videos back in the day, and you could always buy them. And now, to kind of go with what I'm talking about here, we had, back then, if you missed something or you don't watch pay-per-view, things like that, you would get it on videotape. Or find somebody you knew that recorded it. So, which still videotape, but you can rent it or you can buy it. Coliseum Home Videos are kind of like an amalgam of things that matches. You kind of got dream matches. A lot of them were just kind of road shows. The live shows they would do. Some of them, like, you'll see even the banners on there, Saturday night main event, or things like that. So with that being said, like, I went into watching this and I was like, okay, I know what this is going to be. I know they're not all winners. But I was excited. There was a nostalgia to it, and I remember what it was like watching these videos, and you watched them with wonder because you just wanted to suck in everything that was wrestling. Like, you wanted to watch all of these home videos if you couldn't watch the matches somewhere. Like, so when you would see, like this one, especially, you had the Ultimate Warrior on there teaming up with the Undertaker. Yeah, sign me up. I want to see him teamed up with the Undertaker. But you think about it now, and I think younger guys and girls who do wrestling reviews, things like that, who weren't around then for like the videotape era and missing things, and not having all of that information readily available at your fingertips. Like, I think looking back, it's kind of a foreign concept to, like, you watch these videos and you review them and you're like, yeah, it was poor, yeah, I mean, I can see some merit in that. Watching this, it was not one of the stronger videos I've seen, but it was fun, and it gave you some things, and I think when something like this comes out and it's fun, it's just worth it. It's worth, I don't think you can automatically dismiss it, especially when you think back to then and you were like scrambling, and like these videos would come out and it's like, I gotta rent this, I want to see this match or whatever. That's what they were for, because we didn't have YouTube to go back and watch all these old matches. We didn't have WWE Network to go back and do that. You had to just rent these tapes if they came out, or borrow them, or whatever else. And now, to talk about Rampage '92, it starts out, you have Sean Mooney, who was not a commentator back then, but he was kind of like what a Charlie Caruso is now. He was an interviewer. And you had Sean Mooney in some Wild West town, and it was throughout the entire thing, it was like kind of interwoven. And now I know he went on to go on as a news anchor, and that's what this feels like. It feels like either somebody was messing with him and like, go out to this old West town and just shoot some stuff, or he was like, I got a story, let's go do this and it'll be fun. And they're like, well, we'll just intersperse it. We have this footage, let's intersperse it with these matches and make a video out of it. And it makes no sense, and it's ridiculous, but whatever, it's nostalgic, and I like that. And as goofy as it is, it was fun to look at, and it was fun to watch and see. So, just saying that, like, that was not that didn't warrant demerits on my end. You know, it was weird, but for an older video, it was like it kind of made sense for what these were. But to get into it, there was I've read some reviews on this, and some people really kind of are down on it. But the first match was Razor Ramon versus The Undertaker. So you got two Undertaker matches on this. And to me, renting this video back in the day would have been worth it for two Undertaker matches. And you got two. And we got a Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels match on it, which was fantastic. So for those three matches alone, it's worth the rental. It might even be worth the buy, with all the other stuff aside. So now this Razor Ramon and Undertaker match was not one of the best matches because it was a live match. You know, it was one of those road matches that they did. But they're both such good wrestlers that watching this and seeing them, you're just kind of like, all right, this is fantastic. Like, you got two big guys really showing us how to work. And that's what I'm going to say on that. Is like, it was fun to see two big guys do the work and to really pull it off. And you have Razor Ramon, who, in my opinion, is one of the best heels of all time. Scott Hall as Razor Ramon was fantastic, and I love him. Then you had Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels, which was just a great match. It wasn't one of the most epic matches, but you put those two in the ring together in their prime, which is what this was, and you had a great worked match. You had a lot of lockups and their moves galore, and it was just beautiful. I'm going to kind of motor through this a little bit because I don't want to take up too much time on these reviews. I found shorter, sweeter. You had a 40-man battle royal, which was pure nostalgia. Back then, must have been nice. Like, I think probably the most famous person in it, most famous wrestler, I should say, is probably Sergeant Slaughter, and this was 92. So a lot of this was like gimmick central. Which was funny because I think WWE, like some years ago, did a gimmick battle royal, which was all the gimmick wrestlers, even the older guys. I was like, no, this is just basically them when they were younger, and some who were older, you know. So you got a lot of guys in there, and the British Bulldog won, so that was pretty cool. That was kind of before his sort of resurgence with the Hart Foundation. Then you had Rick Martel versus Tatanka. Rick Martel, I think at this time he was doing some kind of like weird French gimmick. You know, we'd wear a beret and he'd just like kind of crap on everything. And then you had Tatanka come out, who is probably still one of the... I'm not even going to get into it, but we all know who Tatanka is. But and Tatanka, of course, won. So just to kind of give you a heads up, I told you about British Bulldog, but Undertaker won against Razor Ramon. Bret Hart won versus Shawn Michaels. British Bulldog won the 40-man battle royal. And Tatanka won against Rick Martel. Then you have Sensational Sherry, who was out with Shawn Michaels earlier. Sorry, she came out and she does a makeup tutorial in it. So they added comedy to it. I don't know why. It seemed a little displaced considering... It just seemed like there was footage they had of things that they wanted to try, little gimmicks they wanted to try that they just popped in this video. But whatever. It like I said, the nostalgia side of it was fun. Then you had they had a bunch of little trivia come out, and like British Bulldog came out, and his trivia was what was the name of my tag team when we won our tag team championships, and I think at WrestleMania 2, and you know what was it, the British Bulldogs. So you know he went on, and then he had Ric Flair come out, and he goes, how did I win the first WWE Championship of my career? You know, my kid was impressed by this because I was like, oh, I won the Royal Rumble, you know. And he was like, really? I was like, yeah, that's how he won. And he outlasted for like over an hour. Then you had a 6-man tag team, the Beverly Brothers with the Genius, which was funny to see. I completely forgot the Beverly Brothers were a thing. Versus Legion of Doom and Paul Ellering. So Legion of Doom, Paul Ellering won that. Then you had Tito and Virgil versus Money Inc. If you don't remember Money Inc., that was towards the end of his career, $1 Million Man. I don't want to say towards the end of his career. I'd say towards the end of his career in WWF at the time. And then you had Erwin R. Shyster, IRS himself, Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas's dad, for anybody who didn't know. He was part of Money Inc. And they went up against Tito Santana and, did I say Ortiz earlier? Tito Santana and Virgil, which was funny to see, especially considering we saw Soul Train Jones this past week on AEW. But Tito Santana came out dressed as a matador, so I guess that was more towards the end of his career in WWE too. He came out, Money Inc. won. Of course, they cheated and they won. Then you had the WWF Championship Match with the Macho Man versus the Repo Man. The Macho Man versus the Repo Man. I forgot the Repo Man was a thing, was that gimmick. And watching this, I was just like, wow. This is a WWF Championship. He was the champion. And he wasn't even the main event in this video. I was kind of sad to see. I was like, I know it was a couple of years before Macho Man went on to do commentary, but his star wasn't on the rise at this point. But he was the champion. He was the one holding it down, and he's fighting the Repo Man. And whatever. It was a finely worked match. It's kind of a squash match, honestly, for a WWF Championship match. It was a squash match, but did make me think about some things. He gets tied up in the ropes in that, which the Macho Man did back then. It seemed like he liked to get tied up in the ropes a lot. We don't see that enough anymore, and I miss it. I really like that. I want to see more of the guys getting tied up in the ropes. That was awesome. That was just fun back in the day, because it kind of gave you that weird suspense of he's tied up, what's going to happen, and they did it a lot in the Attitude Era too, but I don't ever see it anymore. I haven't seen that in years. I don't know when was the last time I saw it, actually. But I would like to see that, and that's one takeaway from this. And I'd also like to see, even if it was just done in WrestleMania, I want to see the refs in the blue short sleeve shirts and the bow ties again, like they did back in the day. And every match had one. Even Earl Hebner was in there. He did this match, and he had his bow tie on. And I would love to see that again. I kind of wish Vince would make that a thing for WrestleMania. Even if it's just WrestleMania, it's fine by me. Just put the officials in that. And I think there's something classy about it, a classy look. And I don't know, I just think it would be awesome to do. And then we had, the Sean Mooney segments, they just kept going on and on. It started weird, he killed somebody and then the town was after him, and there was a lot of sound issues too. It's like they didn't go out there with the sound man, because there was no mic on him, it seems. But there was a lot of chaos, and every time he talked, you couldn't really hear him. And I just noticed that towards the end. That's why I wrote that down. Then we had the main match of the night, which I understand in the cell. It was Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior and Undertaker versus Papa Shango and the Berserker. This was our main event. This was the dream team up of Ultimate Warrior and Undertaker versus Papa Shango and the Berserker. Was not a solid match. Now, it was awesome to see the Undertaker in action, especially at the young age, and Ultimate Warrior doing his thing. And it was cool to see Papa Shango, and it was cool to see the Berserker, but, they're not, major players even back then. So, the match, and I think the match went on longer than it probably should have, but and I didn't really learn anything from the match. When I watched the Razor Ramon and Undertaker match, I'm like, these are two big guys who know how to work, and it's a solid match. When you watch the Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels match on this, these are two guys who really know how to work and are the best at their business in their prime doing this. And it's early days before the big rivalry, so they're building up to something. So, don't want to go too long. We had Lord Alfred Hayes on commentary. That was a tough one. And this is all after the fact commentary. So they were doing commentary just for this video, just watching the matches. But, and then we had Gorilla Monsoon, who did not seem like he wanted to be there, but, he gives it his best. He was a true professional. And I did love hearing him call the choke slam a power lift. That was fun. And it was just cool to just watch this video. There was a pretty funny segment at the end where Berserker missed the rope and fell out of the ring after the match had ended, so that was enjoyable. But overall, I'm gonna give this a B. Like if I'm gonna rate this in any way, I'm gonna give it a grade as a review, and I'm gonna give it a B purely because I know what this was. I know what this video was, and they were important back then. And you did get some cool matches, and I think you got more fun matches. Maybe not more great matches or good matches for that matter, but more fun matches than you got matches that were kind of like, all right, let's just kind of get through this. So with that, I give it a B. The segments in between, I did like the trivia in between. That was pretty cool. Bret Hart even had one where he was, I forget what his was, but it was like, a significant night type thing. But they had some trivia in between, and that's how you got it back then. That's how you got your trivia. You either read the magazines or you had this. So it was fun to have this again and to remember it and remember why it was like this. So that is my review on that. I want to do more. I'll probably tighten it up for next time. This has gone a little longer than I thought. But it's first one, so hang in there with me. Thank you, Nick. Nick is the one that special requested this review. Nick, thank you for doing it. I'm so glad to have watched this. And if you got more, anybody's got any more that they want to send my way or want me to check out, please do, because I love doing this. And I love going back and watching a lot of this stuff. So anything you think I should watch and review, send it to me, and I'll be happy to do that. All right, for now, just you can reach out to me I am at the Scene Snob on Twitter or Instagram. I'm on the Scene Snob's page. You can comment or message me on Facebook. If I don't see it right away, I will get to it, I promise you. And you can subscribe on YouTube, where this video will be, for the YouTube channel, the Scene Snob's YouTube channel. And go check out the scenesnobs.com. We got a lot of different podcasts, things like that, videos, stuff like that to check out. So all movie related, wrestling related, stuff like that. All right, for now, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.